it marinate. So I grabbed 3 shades of the powder. Let's see if I can get her a match. I'll reveal what the shades are, I think, after. I think that might be fun.
I need to see a little better.
Yeah, you can move and get close, whatever you need to do to see, please feel free. So we're going to do some swatches here. I'm going to spray them all first.
Oh, you spray the powder?
Yes, same good counter practices. So to clean a powder, you spray it with alcohol, clean tissue, and then just wipe the top away. Okay?
See, I don't. They keep telling us different stuff.
I
First
know.
they said not to do that. They said just to wipe it.
Who's they?
They have told me too, like they
Another
The
one of
brand
me said that?
managers.
Manager.
The brand managers.
No, no, you're
No, not the store manager. The brand managers that
at
come
your
and visit us.
boutiques,
Huh?
like your SMCs or your
Yeah.
FEs.
They
No,
said
this is
don't.
the correct good counter
That's what I
practice.
thought. I thought that
You
that
can
was
say
the way.
Alyssa said this too.
Okay.
Throw me under the bus, I don't care. That is how you clean a powder.
Yeah, because they was like just wipe it, and I
No,
was
no,
like,
alcohol.
Sometimes what I do is I do the alcohol, but I wait a couple seconds for it to evaporate. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sometimes it can form that film.
Exactly,
So
yes.
I just like do this, and then when it evaporates, I go ahead and.
That's perfect, Sarah. Yep. So I sprayed it far away enough that it wasn't going to drench it. But like if you know it's going to be a second until you put it on them, like nothing's going to happen to it if I do this. Okay. It's high enough of a percentage where it's going to evaporate and lift.
yeah,
So it's safe to do this for sure. But this is the way.
okay.
This
Yes,
is the-
exactly.
This is the expectation. This is
That's the
it.
correct way.
That's it. Yes. You have my support in that for sure.
Isn't it gonna irritate their skin?
No, because you still have to wipe, right?
I'm gonna wipe that excess layer off. But the reason why we make you do this with a 70% alcohol, because it's a very high amount of alcohol and it's gonna evaporate
Okay.
too. But it sits on the powder long enough for it to sit and sanitize. That's why like anything higher than 70 isn't advised because it evaporates too quick and the bacteria is not gonna get killed. So 70% is the advised amount. And that'll still dry. Okay, so she's moisturized. Let's do some swatches. So I prefer a brush that's more like on the dense side to do swatching with. So a 242 is really nice for this. A 239, definitely don't recommend doing a fluffy brush. You're gonna be there for too long because we know now about the powder, it's more buildable, right? So just go with something firm and small, and do swatches from the cheekbone to the jawline. Cheekbone down. So it's color 1. We'll reveal what they are at the end. I'm curious. I don't know her
That
color
one look
that she
good.
normally wears. Like I didn't ask her that. I got a feel for her liquid color, but I wanted to really see if we can find it together. But you saw like healthy swatch. I say like dip twice. Just say like it's there enough to see it. Swatch 2. And put them next to each other, right? You want them to sit next to each other so like visually we can have them to compare to. I'll have her turn so that the other side of the room can see too. Let's see, come on. Cool. And then we'll do one more. I just kind of dust off excess. And then I grab that wild card shade. Remember, like grab maybe like an opposite undertone just so that you can see them sitting next to each other. Okay, so I matched her. But what's that last M that I have to do?
Mist.
Mist. So you see them all now dry, right? You take it with 2 X's. We got it. Almost picked up the alcohol. Jesus. Okay, so that's how they look dry, but let's see what happens or if anything happens when they get wet. Okay.
I will say you can see it better from back here.
So some got like a little bit more
Yeah,
deep, I think.
deeper, I think
Some
so.
like dissolved and just like disappeared a
Yeah.
little bit, right? So what are you thinking?
I like that first one. I think the first one.
You like this one, the back here, lower your mirror.
The back by the hurt
Or the
ear.
back.
Yeah, I
There you
like
go.
that.
Turn your face into the light. That's all right. You get in there.
Yeah. I can barely see this one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think it disappeared, but it definitely changed a little bit with the spray. So
Yeah.
just don't forget that mist, that last M. So that color is
NC 38 or 40.
NC35.
Oh, what?
That's when I looked at her. I was like, I bet she like an NC30 something.
What was your normal color in the powder?
In the original powder?
Yeah.
NC40.
Okay, so it definitely shifts a little bit, right? So they run a little richer, right? Like we said, we had to spread the shade range, so like they needed to adjust. So NC35 is the one. So let's put it on now. Now that we found the color,
That look good.
she signs off on it, so that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Your skin looks good.
If none of those three were good, what should I have done next?
I would have grabbed,
Go grab three more, two more, whatever it is, right? Don't try to make fetch happen. Don't try to doctor the color. We have so many now. I don't have all 67, but especially when you're in store, like don't try to manipulate the foundation to get it to work with the concealer and the bronze. Like we have a lot of colors. You can probably find a super close match. So do your best not to doctor and just go grab more if you have to. It's okay. It's not a reflection of you and your skill. It is if you try to lie and make it work though. Okay, so little hack, I hate taking a wipe to the face when I'm about to put makeup on. So just spray Fix Plus on a big brush, buff it all away.
Oh.
I don't have to worry about the micellar water like being there still and then getting patchy. And I'm prepping also,
That is
right?
a good idea. I never thought of that.
I'm telling you, you're about to sell so much more of this. Like, there's so many places that it comes in to literally save the day. So we're gonna do a little skin prep now. So I grabbed Hyperreal Serum. You're cool with wearing serumizer, yeah? Okay, cool. I know it's very active levels. Some people get reactions. So
No, I really like it.
I like to ask. Okay, cool. And then I grabbed UV Light Strobe Cream.
Oh,
Mhm.
my favorite.
Good. Okay, so I'll just use that same brush. That's cool. So evenly distribute. You look straightforward. It's good. So I always like to start the skincare in the center of the face and just distribute evenly out. I did like 2 pumps of the serumizer. Again, I don't want a lot of the excess moisture sitting on top. I do want it to absorb. Fluff it through. This is also a really good time too, like if you're doing skin ceremony and you're prepping the skin, you can take Ginger Zinger, the lip glass blow, and let it sit on the lips too while you're doing all the prep. If your customer likes like a plumping situation, the lip glass blow works best on a naked lip. It'll be the most pungent because there's nothing behind it to like block it from seeping in. So instead of lip conditioner, you can do that because it's also going to nourish. It's an oil. Okay, so next, little strobe UV. Let's see how it looks on our skin.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I like to actually emulsify it with my fingers.
I have a question.
Please.
So, are they going to change all of the studio creams or strobe creams into this formula, or is it the same formula and I'm tripping?
It's the same formula.
Just
It
new
feels
packaging.
So different.
It's the same formula. They have still the hyaluronic acid to it, but they're just going to go into their new vessel, their new, I don't know who said it, sorry, their new packaging. And you'll slowly start to get shipments of the pink and gold so that it looks all the same. Look at that violet. It looks nice
Yeah,
and
I
vibrant
see
on
it. It
her.
looks pretty.
Now, why does the violet look so vibrant on her? Because she's golden. Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, color theory is everywhere. But yeah, sometimes I'll lay it down on the skin first, strobe cream. And then clean hand, of course, do it in front of them. Make sure that that's okay with your customers, but it's okay to use hands. It also gives me a feel for if there's too much of this sitting on top of the skin. So you want tackiness rather than wetness. If it's too wet, then you probably put too much on. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for it to absorb. So you just know, like, just continue to work in. But I can even feel like there was resistance here when I was moving my finger. So I'm in a good place to put on makeup now. Same for primers, especially Studio Radiance primer. We know it's a very wet, sticky formula, but it should feel grippy rather than slippery. Again, good things to teach your customers as they use it so that they don't return the prep stuff that you show them too. Okay, so let's do some, what order am I working in here? I'm gonna do concealer first. So I just grab Yeah, that's fine. I grabbed an NW30 to warm up the under eye just a little bit. This is Studio Radiance concealer. And then I grabbed an NC. I know this one's dark. I grabbed a 20. I think that'll actually work. Nice. Just to lift the brightness a little bit. Okay. So let's do the concealing first. Really like a 159 brush in this case. Also a 240 brush is great. I'm being light with my application, not too much product. But again, always finding a way to add that NW first to the under eye because most people need it. Obviously assess and look. If the person just has a lot of redness on the under eye, if they're like more on the fair side, then you can get away with just going straight in with the NC. It's not gonna go gray or turn funky looking. Over. Nice. Even that alone looks really nice.
Right.
I know, right? She barely has anything on. That's why even skin artistry can just be the skin prep. If someone wants that, like that is considered skin artistry.
Does it look like you have nothing on?
Mm-hmm. So again, tapping will build your coverage. If you need to shear something out, you sweep. If you're gonna sweep though, I say choke back on the handle so that you're not pressing or pulling the skin too hard. And same for when you're gonna stipple or tap. Just watch the pressure of how you're holding the brush. Cool. But now let's throw some of that NC20 on top and see how it's gonna lift it. Same brush. I just sometimes just wipe off like the excess makeup that's on it.
Just look like brighter skin.
That's it. Just fluffing and shearing down. Again, I'm trying not to make the layers too thick. Always err on the side of less. It's a better habit to have. It's so much easier to add makeup. You all know that. And sometimes that's just down to your colors and your choices. Because if you have to add a lot to add coverage to something, a lot of times just the shade choice is just wrong if the color theory isn't correct. Pretty. Nice. Other side. It's a good golden color, so I can kind of flush it through like the middle of, the middle of her face. And it'll almost create like a spotlight illusion, which I know is really nice and desired. Tapping. And then I'll flush some of her foundation color through too, but I do want you to see like how glam even just the powder alone can look with concealer.
That looks so good.
So she's an NC38 in her Studio Fix fluid. I'm just gonna do like half a pump. We already know it doesn't take pumps and pumps of the fluid to give coverage, right? It's a more advanced technology from what it used to be. Who's laughing?
Me.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I know you about to do about 3 pumps.
Oh my God, this is so much. Too much. But the technology has advanced, so that Pro Fluid technology is meant to move and flex and wrap the skin differently than the old one.
Is that the way?
Mm-hmm. It's windy out there.
It's gusty, honey. Okay, let's see. So I flipped to a 109. Love this for powder, liquid and powder foundation. Ooh, it's like an airbrush gun and a brush. So just tapping again to build. I'm gonna do a sheer layer. I like to prime the brush, so roll an even amount of the foundation evenly through the head, so that way I know when I touch the brush to the face, it's not gonna put more here and more there. I want it to be as even as I can get it. And it almost like loads up the brush so I don't have to dip back and forth as much. blush her first, and then powder will kind of be the veil on top of it too. I'll do like underpainting, but with powder on top. So I grabbed two different things for blush. I'm gonna kind of create like a concoction here. So this is Ginger Luck that I'm gonna do as her base, which would be gorgeous with her golden skin tone, right? Because it's a color not far away from it. Same cleaning process, making sure it doesn't spit. Spray this directly and wipe. You don't have to wait for this because it's like kind of wet or kind of like a juicy wet product. Okay, so let's do blush. I'm gonna just ask her like base tone almost. I want to give her like a sun kiss kind of look with it. So again, tapping to build this color up. I'm not gonna sweep here. I don't want to put holes where I laid down the coverage. And this will be like a good like everyday color for her. Do you wear this color? Or have you before, Ginger Luck?
No.
Should. This, the liquids are great, but this formula, to me, I can't beat. Like, it's really amazing. Pretty. A little bit more on this side for evenness. And then I'm just gonna amp it up with the liquid color that I chose, too. So I still wanna give her glowiness, even though I'm gonna put like a really matte thing on her. Okay, so I grabbed Lava Light for the liquid. Pretty on her. A little bit of Lava Light. Love Lava Light. I saw someone mix Lava Light with the gold highlighter, and it's kind of like a Lovejoy dupe, sort of.
Lovejoy is my
That's
favorite.
Yes.
Lovejoy is my favorite.
That's like your little, that's like your liquid version that you can show people. A little bit. So I'm keeping the darker color like tighter, right? Because I want the lighter parts to be on the ends, the most intense part to be a little tighter on the face. It's giving him this really pretty like sun-kissed illusion. And the placement here is higher. If I'm gonna do a sun-kissed look, it needs to be high. Like as if I'm sitting in the sun, where would that land, right? So it's not a low placement. The nose for sure.
That looks so real.
Real, yeah. And then if you want whatever's like leftover clothes, you just really quickly hit it through the lids. Great. Okay, but now it's powder. The main event here.
Ooh, that's gonna be some pretty.
I'm excited. So I am gonna do, let's do a 109 or maybe on one side, and then we'll play with a different tool on the other so we can see the difference. So this is definitely not like a roll the brush through it like crazy, maybe like we used to, because it'll kick up. Like it's softer, right? So it's definitely like a press and pick up situation because a lot comes up on the brush, but don't smack it off either. Just push it right in. So the technique should be more of like a pressing style. Rather than sweeping. If you want more sheerness, then just pick a fluffier tool, okay? We'll do one half first so we can kind of side by side it. Let's see. I'm gonna spray it also. And you can lightly bring it over the cheek if you feel like you went too strong on the blush too. That's why I like underpainting actually, because if I went too heavy-handed or if I was like not paying attention, I can just kind of erase or buff away. Okay, little spritz. Oops. Makes me hate this old atomizer now that we have the new one. Like we were shooting water guns at people this whole time. Okay, so do a slow side by side for everyone. You see the difference?
Buttery.
I really exposed you today. But the texture is really pretty, right? But I kept her glowy, so you can clearly keep this glowier. Now, this is a brand new sponge actually, so this will be yours now. But let's look at what the sponge will do too. So loading it up, again, just a press and roll, quite a bit picks up on it. Definitely more coverage right away. Like I was saying before, like let's say she had a lip on, I can just take that edge, like that straight edge of the shield, just like swipe this way, and then pull down to blend it. Kind of like those little tiny hacks, like showing how to manipulate and move the sponge, I think is cool because the sponge is unique and new too. And pressing over it slightly, but it definitely gives more coverage quicker with this tool. A 170 would be really good too, your 170 brushes. I was playing with it like pinpoint powdering, like if someone has a lot of texture from like old breakouts, like taking more of, you know it, the 270, the baby
That
version.
definitely gave her like full coverage.
And like press and like push on the blemish and it'll just camouflage the texture like immediately. So there's so many different techniques that you can use. So you see, it did give her more coverage for sure, right? But that's it. The texture's nice though, right? Really pretty on her. Let me see, and then you can bring.
So what if my customer prefers a more matte look? Is it okay to not mix afterward, or should I like powder after I?
Still missed it. Just adjust your skin prep. So I put a lot of glowy things on her in the beginning, right? Like ceramizer we know is good for anybody, but then maybe think about strobe cream if they want matte, don't do strobe cream. Maybe do mattifying primer if you wish, or just ceramizer, honestly. So it's all about your approach with your prep to give you the finish. And then you can go a little more light-handed, on the spray, but still spray it for sure, because that's how you got it to be color true. Okay, cool. All right, well, this is what you're gonna do with each other.